All right, so today I want to look at the back kick for your at-home striking practice. I'll just demo it here a couple different times. So that's one way, that's another way, and then the final way we'll look at is there. Let's start with what I think is the easiest one, which I would call a back thrust kick. I don't think you're ever going to find yourself in this position in sparring, but you might. Sometimes you might get turned around and you're probably going to do kind of like a jump as you kick away. But mostly it's a self-defense technique if someone's behind you. Whatever. Here, my leg is going to come up. I'm going to lean my torso forward and I'm going to kick back and reach with my heel. So the thrusting part of it refers to what my torso is doing. That would be a snap kick. That would be a thrust kick. And it's not a black and white thing. Obviously, there's shades of that. And like, if I lean forward a little bit as a thrust kick, who cares? It's just a way of talking about a spectrum, right? Snap, thrust. Okay? So, one thing to think about when you do this kick that a lot of beginners will mess up is which direction you're looking over your shoulder, but it should be fairly painful if you try and do it the wrong way. So if I try and look over my left shoulder to kick with my right, at least for me, my whole spine is like, what are you doing? Right? And for the most part, you shouldn't be hurting yourself when you're doing martial arts moves. Look over the same shoulder. The other finer point is a back kick, in my mind, means the toes are pointed down. A side kick is when the toes are pointed sideways. And you might see me blurring those lines a little bit. That's not on purpose. That's just, I don't quite have that control to always land the back kick with the toes straight down. So I'll try 3. And then I'll do a snap kick. Okay? Now, the more common place you're going to see a back kick in sparring, and again, you will kind of see that one. It's often like there's some sort of scuffle here. This person trips. This person kind of goes to close distance and bam, kind of a jump to create some space. But you'll see it more often as a spinning kick. So you'll see that back leg come around and hit there. It's great if you're in a sparring game where you can hit in the groin. It's also great in a sparring game where you can hit to the body. Trying to reach with your heel. So the way I think about this kick is, if I've got my left foot forward, one way to break it down is to turn my feet, then turn my head, bring my feet together, and then kick with what was my back foot, right? So let's count these steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. And you're like, well, Wally, I'd never throw it like that. Yes, good, don't. It's just to explore the movement, to learn it. You'd never be flat-footed too, but it's better to start that way if you're learning. 1, 2, 3, 4. One thing to really keep in mind here, when you move your feet, you don't want to pivot on your heels, you want to pivot on the balls of your feet, because that's moving you towards your target. When you pivot on your heels, you're actually moving away from your target, which makes it harder to hit your target. Unless, I suppose you could have a compelling reason to do that. They're really close. I don't know. So now if you want to make it a little harder, skip that step where you put your feet together. So it goes 1, 2, 3. Make sense? 1, 2, 3. And then if you want to sort of lift it up to a functional level in sparring, which, take your time with that. Don't be anxious to I want to get it now. Take your time. Move, maybe jab, jab. Okay, and as you can see, a lot of times my back kick will start to wing out like a side kick. Let me go a little slower, see if I can truly get the toes pointed towards the ground. Why? Because that back kick sometimes can fit in between a cover, whereas the side kick is going to whack them in the forearms, right? It's just a different tool. That was a little better, slower, but better. Awesome, I hope that helps you with your back kick.